Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen, and this is Friday Sews. Friday Sews is where we talk about sewing and life. And don't forget to click on the hashtag down in the description box and also in the top comment. It will take you to all kinds of people who do Friday Sews. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any of mine. Well, let's get into the sewing because there's been a pretty much nonstop amount of it going on this week. Been working on this. I am so happy with the way this is coming along. I mean, seriously, so happy. It hasn't been hard. I've barely torn out any stitching at all, only tiny little bits where I was stay stitching and went kind of a little wonky. But that's it. It's not a difficult pattern at all. It is McCall's 6800. And if you are a confident beginner, I'm pretty sure you could do this. I think the hardest part is this view where you have to do the collar. And it's one of those things where you have to, it's like you're trying to get a corner connected. So you got to sew up to the dot. And the trouble is, one side of the corner is like this, and the other side is like this. So you got to sew to the dot and clip it and all of that. That's the only real hard part, or at least the only hard part that I've gotten to this far. The rest of it is just sewing long panels together because you have a front, then you've got a middle front, and then you've got a side here. And that's it. Same in the back. I have been working all day today on the lining, which is fur, and it is everywhere. I'll tell you what, there are ways to cut that are really smarter than other ways. The best way, if you want to avoid all this fluff, is to use an X-Acto knife. However, I knew that if I tried to cut all these pieces with an X-Acto knife, I would have been cutting until the heat death of the universe. It would have been a long time. So I ended up just doing it with my rotary cutter. Actually, I cut a lot of this with my rotary cutter because it's so fast. I do a combination of that and my scissors because I need to see the notches. The notches really help me, and I needed to see them. I needed them big. So yeah, it hasn't been hard. It's just been a mess, and it still is a mess. And it's funny, my husband, he said, "What is this?" And it gets on my shoes, on the bottoms of my flip flops, and so no matter where I walk in the house, I'm taking like little tufts of fuzz with me, like this. And anyway, he was going, I'm picking those up everywhere. I said, I know, it's the fur that I've been working with. So that's why. And man, those fibers get they just are everywhere. Everywhere. You can kind of see it's all over my shirt. Anyway, right at this moment, I have the sleeve linings to put on the fur here. And I have, beyond that, I am going to put a fur cuff on the sleeve. And I think that's going to be better because I don't know that these are going to be to my liking long enough. I like for my sleeves to come a little bit past my wrist. And I don't think these are going to do that. I have monkey arms. It doesn't matter the pattern. That happens. So, yeah, I'm getting it done. And I'm hoping to have it done by the end of business today. And you can see up here, I've put just a scrap of fabric up there to kind of simulate the turtleneck. I don't have the turtleneck done. I don't have the dress done yet, the skirt that's coming from the dress. The question last night I had for my husband was, what do you think? Should I make this collar out of the velvet or should I make it out of the fur? And we looked at it, and the thing is, you don't get any delineation between the coat and the turtleneck if there's nothing to break it up, and the fur breaks it up. So that worked really well. And it was the way to do it, as the pattern said anyway. It was the path of least resistance. So I was happy with that. For the past few weeks, when I've done Friday Sews, I have talked nonstop about this thing. This is a cape. It's for my daughter when she walks down the aisle. And so it looks kind of like this. This is the lining. There are places where she can put her hands through. And I don't know if I can hold this up like that. Anyway, I spent a couple of hours one evening putting all this fur on, this white fur. And I did it by hand, and I was just trying to make it work. This is what the fur trim looks like. And I've got to go around the edges of the hood here. And I was playing around with it last night, and I thought, do I actually have to sit down and hand sew all of this? No, actually, I don't. I have some scraps of I have both scraps of both of these. And I tried it out on my sewing machine, and I thought, what would happen if I sewed it wrong side to, right side to wrong side, like this, and then I just flipped it over and then top stitched it from the right side. And the thing is, I was afraid the top stitching would show, and I thought, well, if it does, I can just hand tack it on there, and it wouldn't take that long if that's all I'm doing. But I tried top stitching it, and the thing is, the stitching, it kind of vanishes into the fur like that. So I was really happy about that, and I thought, this makes my life so much easier because I can put this fur trim all the way down the front end. It will be fine. I won't have to go to all the trouble of sitting and hand stitching, which I hate with the passion of 1,000 suns. I hate that. So, like working with a toddler. Oh my gosh. That's the last thing that has to happen with the cape before it's done. Now, all of this has to be done by Monday because we are flying out on Tuesday. So when it comes to sewing, that's pretty much it. I have the turtleneck to do, which will go really fast. It's like doing a t-shirt. I've done 3 now, trying to figure out the fit. So that's going to go real quick. And then the skirt, all I have to do is put in a zipper and cut it off and make a waistband. And really, that's going to be so simple because all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Let's see if I can pull that back. Cut it right here, a little bit above the waistline, and fold it down. That's going to be it. I can serge the inside and then top stitch it along, like stitch in the ditch. Done. So that's going to go fast too. So I have really no qualms about that. I think I'm going to be able to get the coat finished and then the skirt done and the turtleneck done, and I'll be done. I'll be ready to go. I do not have boots. I own some boots. I'm a little concerned because it'll be in the snow. So I got to figure that out. And actually, if I have time, I might make a little beret. I don't know. We'll see. I also, one of you suggested that I make gloves. And I thought, oh man, that's a great idea. So depending on the time it takes me, if I run into glitches or problems with the simple things, then I probably won't have time for that. But I might. So anyway, that's all the sewing. So let me move on into life, which of course all has to do with the wedding. We are leaving on Tuesday morning. We'll get to Denver later that day. We're going to spend the night with some old friends that we haven't seen in a while. And then we're going to drive on to where the wedding's being held. Oh, I've got fur all over me. So yeah, that's, I just have to get everything ready. I do need to pack a lot of odd things. Like I've got to pack that cape. I've got to pack this whole outfit. I need to pack 3 tripods. I think I have 3 tripods. Yeah, I think I do. Because my daughter is not having a videographer do the wedding. She's only having photography done. And so we were thinking we'll set up some tripods and put various people's phones in them. And then we'll just hit record and we'll, at various points around the room, strategic places. And we'll just turn them on and that'll be the video. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that's kind of life, getting ready for that. And then getting back on, let's see, we fly out Tuesday and then we get back on Saturday. So I won't do a Friday Sews, but on the plane, I am hoping to edit the making of this. I've been filming as I go. And so it'll be fun to be able to show you my process. I think that's it pretty much. Just getting ready for this wedding. When I get back, I'm going to feel like my life is so open and free. I feel like I've been focusing in on this event for so long. I'm ready to not have it to do anymore. So that'll be nice not to have to work on that and to be able to come in the sewing room and not feel like I'm paralyzed by this thing I've got to do and that thing I've got to do. And what if I do it wrong and I don't want to mess it up? And all those things that will paralyze you when you have a big project that you have to sew and you've got to get it right. It's a lot of pressure. And of course, I don't know that it's pressure from other people. Sometimes it is, but pressure from yourself, pressure that I put on myself is, yeah, it's a lot. So to be able to come into this room after Saturday when we get home and be able to just relax and go, gosh, what do I feel like making? I think what I'm going to feel like doing is cutting this table down, even though it's been really nice with all this velvet and large amounts of fabric that I've had to work with. It's going to be, it was really nice to have this, but I think I'm ready to, do that. And a couple of other things in my house that I want to change. I don't have a whole lot of storage in this room and it's tight. So if I make my table a little smaller and I take a lot of stuff and I put it in some bookcases out in the living room, that is a huge amount of storage that I could use with fabric if I wanted to, with other, you name your thing, I could probably store it in there. So probably what I'll store is fabric. And if I do that, then I can use different legs on my table. I won't need to have these like storage, what are these called? They're like calyx units. So I want that. I want some more room in here to be able to just walk around. It's tight. You can see how tight this is. And it's like that on the other side too. There's a little more room on the ends, and there has to be over there because that's where my ironing board is. But it's tight. I don't want it to be tight anymore. I want it to open up and just not be that. So, okay, that's life. And for my little bit of Jesus, normally I have why? Anyway, for my little bit of Jesus, I normally have a scripture or a thought. And really, I don't have anything right now because my mind is really so focused somewhere else. So I will just share with you my favorite scripture, which is from Micah 6:8. And it is, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Well, I want to do that every day, and I hope you do too. So look for this video where I'm making the making of the wedding outfit, the mob outfit, the mob boss. That still cracks me up. So funny. Anyway, I will see you soon. I will see you next time. Thank you so much so, so much for all your suggestions, all your support, and for watching. And I'll see you next time.